The results are in on the Prime Minister's radical liberalization of hard drugs. He teamed up with the BC NDP to decriminalize fentanyl, crack, and heroin. He lowered jail sentences for mass producers of deadly fentanyl. And 80% of the fentanyl made in Canada is done so using ingredients that are not even regulated, but come right into our country where they're cooked into that poison, now threatening our trade relationship with the U.S. Will he reverse his radical liberal drug agenda to save lives and jobs?
He's not there to do the work of delivering based on science, based on compassion, based on a public health approach on dealing with the toxic drug epidemic. He is instead continuing to try to score cheap political points on the backs of the most vulnerable. That's not serious. That's not responsible.
What is not responsible is allowing 80% of the chemicals used in fentanyl manufacturing to come in unregulated and legally. What is not responsible is decriminalizing crack, heroin, and fentanyl. And then after you see that it leads to a massive increase in deaths, then 2 weeks ago, he, the Bloc, and the NDP all voted in favor of a committee report to decriminalize fentanyl right across the country at a time when Canadians are dying and our border could be closed.
Oh my God. What the hell has happened to the markets, folks? Bitcoin just wiped out the largest amount of money off the markets we have ever seen in the span of 5 minutes last night. It was absolutely crazy. The markets are still reeling, trying to find their footing right now. Bitcoin with a little potentially dead cat bounce, and Ethereum showing some of the most shocking data as we roll into Monday here. We're going to look at all this plus the trade war that just broke out between Canada and the United States. It does look like we have some breaking news about Mexico that just broke right before we went live. And Isaac looking like a gang member out of the United Kingdom.
What's up? You want to get slashed? What's up, everybody? How we doing this wonderful Monday afternoon?
Do you know who I just realized you remind me of Ren, bro. Have you ever heard Ren?
Nope.
Okay, you got he's pretty good, man. Check him out. Look at this. This is Isaac.
Oh.
This is Isaac.
Yeah.
Bro. I mean, shaven, right? A little bit of dermatology work, but that's you. That is straight up you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what a day. What a wonderful world. I did host a show this morning with Kelly.
It's great.
And Nick was on the show too, as a guest speaker on the Mario space. Thousands of people tuned in, listening to what the hell is going on. Really great. We had Tom Crown on there. Shout out to Tom Crown, all the peeps. And shout out to everyone here in the chat. Looks like we're getting rated by Discover. Welcome all from Discover Crypto. We got Nuga Dad, Daniel Spath, Michael Moore, a.k.a. Derek from Step Brothers, Shake and Bake, Shady Bandito. Shady Bandito's riding on you, man.
Yeah, I know, dude. This guy's an asshole to me. He's just laughing at me. Shady's all in my comments. He's just like, you just destroyed the market. Oh, wait. I said something to CoinCheck about being poor.
Yeah.
About not buying the dip because I'm poor. And he said, ha! In all caps. So
I did finally get a chance to buy a project that my wife she's been running circles around me with this project, an altcoin that's just been going nuts. I finally saw a good pullback on it during the crash. So I pulled the trigger on that. Diesel, what up? Morgan Powell, Atropine, Kevin Parsons, everyone in here. What a great day, you know. Our bags are still there. We got a lot of crazy news. Make sure you're following me on Twitter here at Druth Crypto. Getting close to 6,000 followers. It's moving quick.
Climbing fast.
And also our YouTube. Look at our YouTube, man. Make sure you're following us, subscribed on YouTube. We're at 71,000 subscribers now.
Beautiful.
We are getting close to that plaque. It's going to be huge. It's going to be fantastic. Make sure you're subscribed and join as a member. Consider supporting us so that Isaac has some DCA money next time we go to hell.
So I'm not poor next time my graphene dumps so low and my esteem drops low.
Dude, I had to cut the losses on VVV. I had to. I cut it at probably like $5, $6 a token. That thing hit like $3 a unit.
Yeah, that's sad.
That was one of my biggest losses. And you know what? We're going to talk about how and what worked for me, right? Being over allocated into Chainlink by like 60%, 70% of the portfolio actually turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah.
In comparison to the rest of these alts. Holy shit. Now make sure you subscribed and also become a member. It's $1.25 a week. Join as a member of the channel. Now, where is the markets at? Let's do a quick market watch before we get into all the stories. Bitcoin sitting here edging us all the way back up to nearly $99,000. Holy good googly moogly.
Jeez.
It hit literally the exact fib level. Look at this. It hit the fib, bonked its head on the top there. Now, I'd be careful calling this, oh my God, we're going to break out now because there's a little bit of good news out of Mexico that just broke. Just be careful. From the bottom to the top, we rose by 8%. Okay.
Jeez.
And from the announcement of the tariffs on Friday to where we are currently, we had fallen by 13.3% on Bitcoin. That's a huge pullback. But Ethereum with the even scarier move. Okay, this is the absolute insanity that we're looking at in terms of altcoins. What the hell's going on with all these altcoins? What's driving this pain in altcoins? I'll just pull it up here. A fellow that I do follow on X highlighted the Kobiesi letter. Highlighted this insane. Ethereum fell 37% in 60 hours since the trade war headlines hit midday on Friday. Absolutely gut-wrenching. Ethereum not bouncing as easily back as Bitcoin. Let's see if I can reload this. I got a lot of tabs, but we got a lot to go through here today. So we're going to go to ETH. I want to look at where we're currently at. I saw we were right at about, 2,700, but this was just a gut-wrenching pullback. Mass liquidations happen, guys. The most money that we've ever seen liquidated in a 24-hour period was done so last night. Worse than FTX's collapse. This liquidated more money than FTX collapsed it.
That's insane.
Tom Crown had some great nuance with this. I was talking to him on the Twitter space this morning, though, simply because the market is larger. You have more money to take away. Even if you don't see Bitcoin fall by 20 or 30%, there's more money in the market, so that happens. I like that wide shot. I don't know if you can see everything that's on my desk, but
probably. While we're at it, +1s in chat if your portfolio looks like a shit tornado right now. Okay, just throw the +1s in there, and also if you haven't already, smash that like button and hit the subscribe button.
There's some hope here, Isaac. It's time in the market that helps, and being over allocated to good projects, right? Bitcoin, Chainlink, Aerodrome isn't as top tier. I'd say Aerodrome's pretty. I did buy more Aerodrome on I think it was Saturday, and then on Sunday I bought Swift coin.
Okay.
But Aerodrome's getting up there. Aerodrome's climbing up there in terms of my comfortability with it, and I really think that this shows what we saw this weekend in the liquidations is that it pays to be stubborn and to keep your crypto on cold storage. Okay. Because the crypto that I bought at very, very low prices and then held it for years on end, multiple cycles even, the Chainlink, it's really, my average buy on Chainlink's like $3.90.
Yeah.
So seeing it drop even to $16 didn't really hurt me. So make sure to utilize the discount. If you don't already, get a cold storage device and keep your crypto cold storage. This is a great option. This is the Arculus cold storage wallet where you can get 10% off by using code BASE10 on the link down in our description. A great channel partner there. Make sure you pin them in the chat there, because this is where, I know that a lot of people like to get on Twitter and they flex when they make 10% off their entire bag by leverage trading it. I'm leverage trading with 1, maybe 2% of my bag at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're leverage trading with your entire bag, let's go look at Carl Moon. Let's go look at Carl Moon. And first of all, this is a great post from Crypto Duh. Wait a minute. This isn't Upuary. This is anal sex. That's what it felt like for a lot of leverage traders out there. Let's go to Carl Moon's
vital training.
Where's that coming
and
from?
landmark security
There's something
guarantees.
fine.
Going forward,
Oh, here it
must
is.
not only
That was weird. Carl. Where are you at, Carl? Carl the Moon. He is one of those flexers. You know what I mean? I've met the guy once. He's a little outlandish, a little showboaty, a little outlandish.
Twitter
This is
hates you.
Twitter's being weird right now. Carl, I think, lost millions of dollars last night. And it pays to not be playing around or leverage trading with your bags too much. He's like, you'd say, I feel like we deserve this. Altcoin season will happen. Just getting delayed and amplified. I'd agree with this. You know, just a little delay, a little bump in the road.
Yeah.
The bounce up will be violent. He's highlighting the amount of liquidations here. Let's see here. Where is it? I saw this last night. I'm going to find it. He's speechless. He was like last night in the middle of the night, he was like up here just like mad tweeting. Oh, here it is. Literally every trade I had open was liquidated. Unbelievable. Damn. Right. And that's like, even like they'll put in their whole portfolio and then they'll put like a 2 or 3x leverage on it with no stop and think, oh, that's safe. It'll never go down to there. Right. Wrong, Carl. The price is wrong. Now, Ethereum last night went to 2,000 on the exchange I was trading on. $2,080. Okay.
Jeez.
On TradingView right now, it shows 2,157. I saw this son of a gun fall to $2,080. It nearly fell into the 1,900 realm. Okay. Very, very quick. And I do wonder which exchanges / lending protocols went insolvent during this time frame, because I'm going to bet my bottom dollar on it that at least one, DeFi / exchange went insolvent from being overexposed in this crash. So shout out to Carl. You'll be fine. You're already a millionaire. This is Ben Zhao from Bybit calling out some misinformation, because what we saw this morning was they're like, oh my gosh, $2 billion was liquidated, right? Be careful out there. Ben Zhao showing some great transparency here from Bybit. He's afraid that today the real liquidation is a lot more than $2 billion. By his estimation, it should be at least around $8 to $10 billion. Jeez. Bybit 24-hour liquidation alone was $2.1 billion. So he's highlighting on his exchange alone, $2.1 billion. The mass media was trying to say, oh, it's about $2 billion in total. He's like, wrong. It literally on my order books is showing $2 billion in and of itself. As you can see in the below screenshot, Bybit 24-hour liquidations recorded on CoinGlass was around 333 million. However, this is not all the liquidations. We have API limitation on how feeds are pushed out per second. From his observation, other exchanges also practice the same limit liquidation data. So they're limiting the amount of API data that's coming, showing how many liquidations are actually happening, which is kind of terrifying if you think about it, right? You're not getting the actual data. Moving forward, Bybit will start to push all liquidation data, believe in transparency. So good on them. Good nod. Makes you wonder how much pain really just happened in that mass event. And also, Aave experienced $200 million in liquidations within just 24 hours, the largest event since 2024, representing 30% of all liquidations since Aave's inception. This is crazy. So what just happened represents 30% of all the liquidations that have happened on Aave ever, right? That's absolutely crazy to see. Oh my God, I can't wait to look at the altcoins. AIXBT warning us what we see here at this little bounce. Where's Bitcoin? This little bounce right here might not be over. We got to go back and see where we're at. So we're at 98.8. Mr. AIXBT agent saying that a 30 to 40% decline might be coming for Bitcoin. Pain has already started. Don't fight it. Let's look at what that would actually look like, instead of just yelling at an AI robot, because an AI bot is just aggregating data, right? They don't feel it's going to make it, they're just taking in data, seeing how much is being washed off the markets. So 30, 40% from here. Oh my God. Let's just go 33%. Let's see what 33%. So 65,000.
Well, we do have a futures gap at $77,000.
Okay. I'm sick of your shit, Isaac. Sick of your shit. Now, this would be actually something I'm honestly like, if we see more FUD and more Black Swan type stuff, a bounce down to there, not likely, but possible. I can see that. More than likely, you would have a stop here at the $77,000 mark, which is the recent kind of multiple all-time high spot right at about here. So I'm thinking that AI expertise might be a little bit hyperbolic and just taking in the mass liquidation data and being very overzealous with it.
Yeah.
But 77, I could see as kind of that stopping point there. So hopefully the robot, isn't correct, because that would be very, very bad for our altcoin. Very, very bad. Now, tomorrow, here's some bullishness. Digital asset White House presser with David Sachs, Hill, and Scott. On Wednesday, the Senate hearing on banking, and on Thursday, the House hearing on Operation Choke Point 2.0. A big week ahead on the Hill and in Congress talking about crypto. So we do have some pretty bullish things coming up in the White House and on the regulatory side for crypto for the rest of the week. But just an interesting thing to keep an eye out on as we have all these trade war talks going on, all these things. And, Trump came out fighting hot and heavy. This is unusual. Wales. A reporter asked Trump, what does Canada and Mexico need to do for you to lift the tariffs? Here is Trump's response.
President, what does Canada and Mexico need to do for you to lift the tariffs? What are specifically you want? That have to balance out their trade, number one. That we've got to stop people from pouring into our country, and we've stopped it. They haven't stopped it. We've stopped it. They have to stop people from pouring in, and we have to stop fentanyl, and that includes China.
So the fentanyl. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, my bags are falling a little bit because Trump's shutting down the border and demanding Mexico and Canada do the same. And he's willing to fight with extreme violence on the trade side to make that happen. Actually is something that makes me pretty damn happy, because fentanyl is something that my family has to pick up the remnants of. My family's in crime scene investigation and police work, and it's killing a ton of people, and it has been for quite a while. It's a pretty terrifying thing for me to think about as a dad, my kids growing up in an environment where fentanyl is accidentally put into different drugs and things like that, or it's just accessible in general, right?
Yeah.
Fentanyl is killing our youth right now, and even people that are a little bit weaker or susceptible to hard drugs. So honestly, if this is what it takes to, mass macroeconomic turmoil to make them shut down the border, so be it. I want my kids to live. You know what I mean? I don't want them to have to grow up in a society that is filled with drugs that will literally kill you.
The results are in on the Prime Minister's radical liberalization of hard drugs. He teamed up with the BC NDP to decriminalize fentanyl, crack, and heroin. He lowered jail sentences for mass producers of deadly fentanyl. And 80% of the fentanyl made in Canada is done so using ingredients that are not even regulated, but come right into our country where they're cooked into that poison, now threatening our trade relationship with the U.S. Will he reverse his radical liberal drug agenda to save lives and jobs?
He's not there to do the work of delivering based on science, based on compassion, based on a public health approach on dealing with the toxic drug epidemic. He is instead continuing to try to score cheap political points on the backs of the most vulnerable. That's not serious. That's not responsible.
What is not responsible is allowing 80% of the chemicals used in fentanyl manufacturing to come in unregulated and legally. What is not responsible is decriminalizing crack, heroin, and fentanyl. And then after you see that it leads to a massive increase in deaths, then 2 weeks ago, he, the Bloc, and the NDP all voted in favor of a committee report to decriminalize fentanyl right across the country at a time when Canadians are dying and our border could be closed. Will the Prime Minister confirm that he has reversed himself and now opposes decriminalization of fentanyl?
Damn, man. Pierre Poilievre. This guy is awesome.
He's based.
Awesome guy. And he's talking about, decriminalizing the raw materials that's utilized for it that come from China. And then having lax border policies, it's really setting up a situation for disaster. And honestly, the folks on terrorist watch lists being caught at the Canadian border, more than double the amount of terrorists on watch lists that are being caught on the Mexico border. So they're preferring that avenue of entry into the United States. We're entering into this geopolitical chaos. Trump, he just posted. Things are not going to get any easier on the war side with Trump. I mean, he was, there was no war really going on, and he was able to kind of keep Iran's head low and stop the murder of or the violence of our military when he was in power.
Yeah.
This is what he just posted right before we went live. Unclassified airstrikes on ISIS in Somalia. Okay, so Trump is just, here you go. Here's what happens. Boom. And this is interesting to see because it's right after the attack happened, this information and the video became public. He wants the people that oppose the United States to see this. He wants them to understand that last time it was a picture slid over your desk of your home. This time it's just the missile. So there is that. It's, it's going to be a very, very volatile time. And I was arguing with this guy on a Twitter show this morning. He's like, the Bitcoin Reserve Act is never going to happen. They're just pandering, and CBDC is inevitable. Just give in. Here's what, again, I think is going to happen is, we're not going to be actively buying Bitcoin in 2025. More than likely, we're setting up the parameters to be able to do so within the Treasury. And I won't be surprised to see some extreme up and down in Bitcoin over the next, say year. Is that your contract address?
That's my ETH contact address.
What
I just
is going
dropped
on?
it because what's his name? Psycho Crypto told me to drop my MetaMask wallet. There's nothing in it. I'm scrubbing it, motherfucker.
Where's your drift at? Should we look at drift?
Oh god, it's like 68 cents right now.
Maybe I buy it.
I should buy it.
Should I buy Isaac's Pain? 1 in chat if yes, 2 in chat if no.
I
Let's
would
see
like
here.
to buy my own pain too, because I wouldn't mind having some little extra dry powder.
Oh, it's at 77 cents. You're gonna be great.
Oh no, I'm still, incredibly
72.
up for my 25 cents. Shout out to all the people who got in at 25 cents.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad I sold this.
All right.
I am such an asshole when it comes to this.
I'm down
Unreal.
bad.
Yeah, it's kind of the top end of this channel. So hammer time. Damn it. Yeah, this kind of looks like hammer time for me on Drift. You're gonna be fine.
Oh no, I'm gonna be great. I'm still great.
Drift is one of the products on Solana. It's Drift, Orca, Jupiter, and Radium. Those are the kind of the DEX locations on Solana I think are gonna rip.
Indeed.
So one of the 4 I think are going to look pretty good. Obviously, Canada's Prime Minister Trudeau announced the 25% retaliatory tariffs on $155 billion worth of American goods. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to Mr. Trudeau here.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time.
Is it just me, or do those people next to him look kind of terrified?
They look very sad and depressed. Especially the guy on the right's like, what the hell am I doing with my life right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting hot, man. It's getting hot. And, like Canada, there's a bunch of different types of oils that they produce, right? But
Yeah.
the main one that they have, like, people want to be like, no, they don't just make shitty crude oil that they can't refine. They make a bunch of specific types of oils. But guess what? The vast majority of it is unrefined oil, and we are the ones with the refineries, right? So this is the thing that people don't really get when they're talking about this trade conflict and where it's going to go. Canadians themselves are pretty worried about the trade war, and at large, America is still the world's main consumer of goods in general, right? Like
Indeed.
Our society is built of consumers, and Canada, it's had its own difficulties. The Canadian dollar falling off of the face of a planet. We might look at the Canadian dollar here in a minute too. You know what? While I'm on the subject, let's see if we can pull it up here. I think it's CA. Let's go to Forex. Let's see if I can get, what's the ticker for it? I think it's CAUSD.
believe so.
Here, Canada. No, let's give me the tether. Give me, what's the ticker in the chat? Give me the ticker. I want to look at the Canadian dollar because I know that thing's getting its ass kicked right. Because what's happening is the dollar's buying power is going up. Trump's cutting down the adversaries on the other side of the table in terms of these trade deals. And then he'll fix it, come to a resolution, and then the markets are going to skyrocket. And I am the king. I did it. Look at me. I'm so perfect. So wonderful. I just fixed everything for you. This is the art of the deal. This is Trump's literal playbook. It's just how it happens. You cut him down at the knees, then you come back. It's CAD. All right, let's go here. CAD. Canadian dollars futures. Let's see what we're looking at. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Canadian dollar. Why in the world is this not pulling up? USD. Here we go. Oh my God. Okay. So as you can see, things are getting a little weird for the Canadian dollar. This is the 4-hour chart, so it is trying to take a rebound here, fill the gap. But that on the announcement of these tariffs, let's see here, that's a near 3% fall on a fiat currency, right? So it affects them in a pretty big way. There's no denying that. Also, this coming up, China is preparing trade talks with Trump after the new tariff shock. 2 weeks into his second term, Trump imposed fresh tariffs, 25% on Mexico and Canada, and 10% on China, forcing Beijing to respond. China is now preparing to negotiate a trade agreement with the U.S., offering increased purchases of American goods, investments in the U.S. sectors like EV batteries, and a pledge to curb yuan devaluation. Beijing also aims to reduce fentanyl precursor exports as Trump threatens tariffs as high as 60%. And I will say it again. I will absolutely cheer on economic destruction across the world to stop fentanyl and the death of our kids here in the United States. If that's what it takes, if they really want to go nuclear with it to make sure that our kids stay safe, so be it, right? That's just me. Other people without kids that don't have this type of worry, maybe they're more concerned. I'm not. Like, literally, the money that I make is for my kids, and it terrifies the shit out of me thinking that they have to go to a high school, and I have to wonder if there's going to be fentanyl in those drugs, right? That's what scares the shit out of me. Mexican President Sheinbaum this morning has said that the tariffs from the United States are now delayed for a month after a discussion with President Trump this morning, and it does look like she's taken action. She has agreed to deploy 10,000 Mexican troops to fortify the border against drug trafficking. The U.S. President Donald Trump has paused the tariffs for 1 month in response. So love seeing this. Sack Nasty, you sign. His fentanyl prices are going to skyrocket.
Hey, you.
You are banned!
Oh,
Yep.
my God.
Yep, that just happened.
Oh, God. Now, also, tariffs are probably coming to the EU. So here's reporters asking about the EU. Are they safe from Trump's tariff onslaught? Let's have a listen.
Well, you're asking me a question because I'm sure you didn't hear. Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely.
Jesus, look at how this is a man that's on a warpath, bro. Like, the look in his eyes. Like, last presidency was like the tamed version of Trump, if that's possible to believe. Nasty stepmom comes in, worth it. Holy God. He's unstoppable, decentralized.
You are banned!
Ultimate power, man. Ultimate power.
Where did it go? I had something else to do here. Oh, yeah.
What's
You
that?
are banned!
Oh, you got more.
Get on my chat. Big
Okay,
tip shark.
all
Your
right.
cocaine.
Yeah. Wow, man, it's just going down today. Elon Musk is also on a war path within the United States government. Elon Musk says that he supports ending all property tax on United States citizens. Holy cow. This is insane to see. Now, if they take away property taxes, talk about external revenue service, tariffs, being able to make that a possibility. You don't need airdrop funny money quantitative easing. You just give people their damn money that they work for, charge countries for the ability to send their products in to the United States where all the consumers are at, for the most part. I mean, I know that's kind of hyperbolic saying this is where all of them are, but by and large, most of the things produced around the world are consumed by America. That's just the way it is. So I would love to see the property tax done away with in the United States. It's one of the most nefarious things. Like, an old lady will have their house paid off and then all of a sudden the government comes and takes their home away because property taxes have risen. This, they're out of the workforce. They can't afford it.
Yeah.
The raises, they take the houses away. It's just so insane. Also, US8, a criminal organization, time for it to die, according to Elon Musk. Senior officials at USAID put on leave after physically trying to stop Doge from accessing agency systems. There is a literal genius autist within the United States government that has a crack team of technological surveyors and data diggers that are gutting all of the information within the U.S. Government. And two USAID officials, John Voorhees and his deputy, were put on leave Saturday night after refusing to allow the Department of Government Efficiency members to access these systems. Doge members threatened to physically call the police after being refused entry. They were trying to access the security and personnel files. Federal officials are concerned that Trump is trying to fold USAID into a U.S. State Department in an effort to cut government corruption and bloat. USAID employs approximately 10,000 people, excluding contractors, with 2/3 of them overseas. 60 USAID members were already put on leave last week after trying to circumvent President Trump's executive order in stopping foreign aid. They are literally trying to disobey the commander-in-chief, a dark agency that think that they're unstoppable, that think that Elon Musk, the ultimate autist of the world, will not find them, will not find the data files that they've been... Elon Musk is doing a hostile takeover.
100%.
On the back, like Trump is on the front end dealing with all these, trade relationships and all this stuff on like kind of the macro, getting ready to set up peace agreements with Russia and China. And Elon Musk is in the servers, like just gutting things. Like this is absolutely crazy. This is treason. USAID is committing treason, and it'll all be found. I do have confidence Elon Musk is going to bring this darkness to light. And Milo, by closing USAID, Trump and Musk have toppled the most gigantic global terror organization in history.
Jeez.
Very, very bullish to see. And something within this, how much money has gone to Ukraine has now been a piece of discussion. For the most corrupt countries in Europe, like Ukraine, the United States has given us $177 billion, Zelensky says, but we received only $75 billion. Now, I am of the opinion that this $170 billion, that is the current talking point of how much money we've given to the Ukraine, actually probably comes over $500 billion. They have hidden the amount of money that's coming, and we can already see that the Ukrainian government, or Zelensky, is only showing receipts for $75 billion of it. Where'd the other money go?
Throw in $800 billion, if you're wondering.
I mean, I wouldn't be, if it goes to $1 trillion, I'm saying $500 billion to $1 trillion is what we've actually given Ukraine.
That's pretty accurate.
But it doesn't go to Ukraine. It gets captured by NGOs, backdoor organizations. Then they flip it and kind of create the flywheel to go raise more money. It's just such an insane situation. So we're going to take a moment to just really soak this in.
And when the mouth-breathing ass-fab waivers at the finance office forget to pay your bill, your personal credit score is forever affected.
So sorry.
And when the mouth-breathing ass-fab waivers at the finance office forget to pay your bill, your personal credit score is forever affected.
So sorry.
Dude, I can't stop with this.
Dude, these guys are like the funniest animators out there.
You
Dude.
gotta
100%.
if you guys are lip dinner enjoyers, stiff lip supplements. I'm not sponsored by this company at all, but they make the finest quality content. I need to try the product. It is absolutely worth the follow there. Now, just a side note, we got to get into all the altcoins, but there is a American citizen in Pakistan now demanding $100,000 from their government, claiming she wants to rebuild the country. You can't make this up. Here she is, basically demanding to all these Pakistani men that they need to pay her and put $20,000 in her pocket this week. And this is where the world's going, right? So I won't be surprised if she doesn't make it back to the United States. They play different games out. Here is the terrifying stuff for altcoins, though. Okay. So here is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And here's what's changed. Here's 2 cycles previous. We had the 260 or 245 days from the halving, then boom. 245 days from the halving, boom. Here, 245 days from the halving, oh my God, something is different. Bitcoin dominance has spiked to 64% over the week. This is something we've never seen. And honestly, it is quite terrifying to me to think about. Here is the others chart we were looking at earlier last week. And that sell-off brought us basically to this channel. This is where I think we're going to be able to hold in terms of the others chart.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if we keep chunking all the way back down to there, you guys. This is getting hairy. 05 Brumfield, thank you for joining OG status to the show. Very much appreciate you. Now, we already highlighted the 37% haircut that Ethereum has received. But the ETH to Bitcoin pairing hit its lowest level since December of 2020 this weekend, folks. This was something I posted on Twitter over the weekend. Absolutely scary chart. Lots of dilution, lots of interesting things have happened that have changed it. Obviously, the liquidation levels going nuts. We already covered that. But here also, Pumped Up Fund launched in April 2024, exactly when the alt run deviated from past cycles. In the peach is 2017, where altcoins really had a great time. There's not much competition. Things were good. 2021, a little bit more competition, but no Pumped Up Fund. And still pretty damn good. Now, here is our current situation in the black line. Pumped Up Fund launched April of 2024, and things have kind of gone downhill since then. So a lot of people argue, is Pumped Up Fund good or bad for crypto? I honestly think it is horrible for people to get introduced to crypto through meme coins. I think it is a death sentence for the, hope of, a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to go in there and buy crypto on a Pumped Up Fund and then they'll get rucked. And then a few years later, they'll want to go buy Bitcoin instead, right? I think this is a net negative for crypto to see 10 to 30,000 coins being created over a night's time frame. Sure, it created some deflationary action for Solana, but honestly, if the gateway drug to crypto is a equivalent of fentanyl, you're going to end up with a lot of dead traders. Okay. Yeah. It's just, it's absolutely crazy. And, Nick has been cracking me up about it. We were talking about it on the show this morning, but top 200 altcoins are really where we should be playing in. Actual developers, a vibrant Discord, a product, people you can meet at conferences, and merch. And they also have armies, Marines, gangs,
or
right?
Cult members.
Cult members, right? Pumped Up Fun, you have Jeets, bots, racism, endless loss, penile reduction, and 24/7 semen consumption.
And fake suicide attempts.
It's just such a different world. And our regular altcoins are going to have their time in the sun. Link, FUD spreading like wildfire after last night's sell-off. So what are his thoughts? This is Mika. Price swept to the recent low and tapped high time frame support levels, giving us a look at completed correction from the $30 high. This supports the idea of price completing the second 1-2 on the macro. Nothing has changed. Price pushing above $100 in the coming months remains a primary expectation for him. And honestly, $100 to $200 still remains the general target. If things go extra great for Chainlink, I could see us, breaching that $200 target. But at large, I'm looking for like $100 to $150 billion market cap on Chainlink still. Still remains the gas token of the entire ecosystem. Did you see Beyonce won the Grammy for Best Country Album of the Year?
Indeed, I did.
Have you ever heard her music?
No, yeah, I have, but I don't purposely try to put myself in a position to listen to her shit music.
So have you ever? I know you've probably heard her kind of I guess you call soul R&B.
Sure.
Catalog. Have you ever heard her country? I've never heard her country music.
No, I listen to heavy metal and grunge music, Drew.
I mean, I'm a country music enjoyer. Seeing Beyonce win a Grammy for country music while you have so many people that it just feels like a DEI hire for country music winner for me.
It is.
And I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but honestly, bro, she's not a country music singer. And I've heard like a snippet of it. It was garbage. Here's the average chart pattern for your gun enthusiasts. You start low with a Glock basic bitch. You go up to the Gucci gun very quick, thinking that you're John Wick. You fall back down into the SIG Valley of Despair and then slowly work your way on up through the SIGs and the Walters and all that stuff. Go to the little hammer driven, and then you end up at the plateau of sustainability, which is indeed the Glock 19. Now, Truth. You mentioned owning gold. Do you believe gold is a necessary point or part of the freedom tech stack? Can you please break this down for us? I would say gold is a great long-term asset to hold. Really, when we look at the market breaking down, Berkshire Hathaway sitting on a record amount of cash, and this crypto market being as volatile as it is, I would say that allocating and having a portion of my value in gold is really a pretty smart thing to do. Now, I prefer to be in Bitcoin, guns, vehicles, real estate, and then gold. But that's just the general stack that I'm looking to hold into 2026 and 2027. I do think that there is some major macroeconomic pain coming in those time framing years. So with that being said, yes, I do think that gold is a very, very wise thing to be holding once I am out of the market and kind of getting things a little bit more calmed down. Now, I will highlight some things that, in the portfolio looked pretty decent. And I did consolidate down. We're going to be opening up a specific trading group, I believe on Telegram here in the next few weeks, where, I'm going to give my exact, positions on, but I consolidated down to Ondo, Aerodrome, in a pretty big way before the crash, because I just saw the nastiness and I didn't like being so spread out amongst like 20 different projects. I consolidated into that realm, and other things that are performing well. I will give a highlight. This is probably a pretty damn good moment for Morpho entry points. We did see Morpho finally lose that sticky $3 spot it had built itself up into. And I know that Morpho is going to be a very, very good performing asset in the market of 2025. This is the chosen spot for Coinbase borrowing against your Bitcoin. And Morpho has been chosen to do so. So seeing it break down to essentially where or near where it came out at leads me to say that this is a great moment of opportunity on Morpho. Other one that performed extremely well is Plume with its partnership with Ondo, the real world asset sector. DZ said something that makes a lot of sense to me. It's probably under the radar of the Wintermute market makers that didn't know to destroy it, because it's a brand new project, but Plume held up really, really well. So you got to give a shout out to that. And other crypto projects, let's just look at the biggest winners and losers here. So Fartcoin up 39%, bouncing hard, 43%. Holy God. Hyperliquid, it's going to pump, and then probably rug. That's what I could say about Hyperliquid. So profits, important to take on Hyperliquid. It's going to be a juicy little spotlight piece for this cycle, and then it'll go down in a pile of flames. I could say it that way.
Sounds about right.
Ondo doing pretty good, up 13%. That's great. Athena, another RWA squeeze here. You can see the RWA sector is getting hot. You can see the RWA sector is getting hot. You don't see the same bounce from those AI agents as we did. I'm sorry, Isaac. Are you still in Grafane?
I'm still in Grafane. It's under its original price that it came out at.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Oh my God. It's, I don't know, man. I know AI agents are going to have their moment. It's just the RWA thing seems to be catching a little bit more of the spotlight here. And then everything else is down. So,
and when that pump happens, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
And people are saying VVV is up after I got out. Let's see. I got out at $6. It's at 460. So don't feel bad, but it is trying to bounce pretty good. So that's great. Just absolute brutality. This is the buying moment, though. We always talk about preparing and making sure you have buying ability. This is important when we see things like this happen to, always consider what you're holding, see what's bouncing back the hardest. Honestly, I see RWAs and AI. This is their sector. Within this, Solana and Base remain the focus for anything that I'm adding to the portfolio beyond what I have already built out. And we are building up that trading group on Telegram here.
It's going to be completely done here by February 14th.
Is it really?
Yes. So
okay.
Y'all better be ready. The due date for this whole Telegram group is going to be Valentine's Day.
And that's where we're consolidating Kelly, Josh, DZ, and me all into one spot for trading signal.
Disco fam,
yes.
The BitLab fam, and the Dwellers all in one spot with some of the best traders in the
I'm excited about it, man. And our place in there, like obviously I'll give my trade calls, but me and you, we're going to be giving all the DeFi Llama sleuthing so that people don't get too overly bullish on something that doesn't make any sense to be bullish on, right?
Right.
If there's no TVL but the price is up, right?
Move into something that has the TVL lower than the price.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Or the
So
other way around, my bad.
My bags, yes, I hold Chainlink at 60-70% of them. I didn't go to zero. Thank God I didn't get liquidated. I probably lost like 30 or 40% on the portfolio just this weekend. Man! What happened? Another one? Oh, Sack Nasty got
Sack
banned
Nasty again, bro. You got two in one day. Okay, that's all you need to. That's all you need to know.
It's been heavy, hot and heavy, but I love and appreciate y'all. Stay based. This was a good buying opportunity, but don't just go backing up the truck. We might see some more volatility through the rest of the week. Things are getting very, very volatile. So with that being said, stay focused. This is a time to stack. I love and appreciate every single one of you out there watching. Share the show. Help me clean up all the stupid scam bots after the show's done. And I will see you tomorrow with some more information. Till then, take care.